hello. Oh, wait, let's skip the first one. No, I don't like that being the next one. No, next one. Hey, there we go. That's a good way to start a stream. Alright. How is everyone doing today? Make sure everything's working. We're gonna be doing lighting today. Lighting and shading. Okay. Super late getting everything set up today. Even with everybody up this morning, it still took forever to get out the door. Yes, the beginning of the end. Actually, that sounds like a thing you say on Friday. Yeah, because like it's Wednesday. Not the end of the weekend. Okay. Now, what I want to do is that I want to do lighting of the weapons first. So that means I have this to do, which has to be a separate line art. 15. Okay. Minecraft 2 torture continues. You like that? You you thought you Now I don't know if I'll have time to play that today, only because line art tends to take a little longer. Like depending, like some panels are easier to get things done than others. But I don't know if today's gonna be any easier. Turn that off. Okay. So what we have here. Oh, nearly fudged it. Oh wait. There we go. Continuing the legacy, yes. We are continuing the line art. I mean, not line art. Why did I say line art? Hello? Hey, there we go. Actually, now that I think about it, what kind of hard light? Hard light. There we go. Oh boy. I mean, if we're super lucky, we'll be able to play some Minecraft today, but Worst case scenario. I mean, that's just, another good thing would be if we get everything done today, because I won't be doing the dialogue bubbles on stream. That's like the only thing I don't want to do live. So the idea of playing video game on Thursday is becoming more and more of a stronger possibility. Evil. Evil. Oh, whoops, wrong one. So, and then where is... Nope. Nope. There you are. So far exhausting. I stayed up way too late last night, and now I'm regretting all my decisions. There we go. Oh god. Oh god. Why is this being a butt? Why is it not working? What happened? Oh, I think I know what happened. Nope. Okay, before I continue, I am going to save this. Okay. Let's find that again. 18, 18, 18, 18, 18. There you are. Oh, why? Why did you do that? What the hell? Why is it like this? Hold up. Okay, I think I figured out what the problem was. Yeah, it's stuck on this function. I don't know how I got stuck on that function, but it is. Oh, darn it. Sonic 3D Blast? What about it? Like, I don't know. I still haven't looked at the update on the Sonic stuff yet. I did see a little bit of the Sonic Colors thing, like the little cartoon thing. That's as far as I saw right now. Go. And I might sound like really, really tired today. It's because I am. So, there you go. Ariella, Angelina. I feel like I'm missing something. Hold up. Just want to look at a page. Yeah. Just a little bit out of it today. We good. We're good to go. I think I'm just like, coffee isn't processing as fast as it usually does. Right, there's usually like a... Oh, I already have the brighter colors, so I could just do... Make it soft. There we go. Oh, whoops, too far. There we go. But yeah, like I said, not much today. Just try to get things done and trying to stay awake. And try not to be a bitch about it. That's what I get for, like, staying up late. That and I'm getting back to my exercising too, so... Well, still not technically exercising yet. 'Cause I'm just, like... I keep wanting to do runs, but I end up doing walks instead. They're very long walks, but still. They're not that calorie killer running, you know? Stabby, stabby. Oriella. There we go. You know what? You should. Because everybody should be working on their own little thing. The rise of the independent... Because it is happening, my dudes. Sorry, I was thinking of something. You should take the advantage of writing your own stuff. It was... you have no idea how many times my sister is just all... sister and I would be just like, you know, writing's hard. Like every time someone would complain about just all like something... Like, criticism is fine, but sometimes... It's one of those things that, like, yes, okay. You know how when someone criticizes something, so like, well, like, go do it yourself kind of thing, if you think you think you're so smart, and then their response would be, I don't have to be a chef to know when food tastes bad, which I almost agree. Like I don't 100% agree on that statement. Like, it'd be one thing if it's just, like, awful bad, you know what I mean? Like, if it's, like, super bad that, like, you know, your cat could figure it out kind of thing, you know? So, but sometimes some critics bite off more than they can chew when it comes to criticizing things. Like, they'll start criticizing something that they obviously do not understand. Like, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about when they're criticizing something. And that's the moment of, like, it's one of those things, like, maybe there is something wrong, but you haven't figured it out. Like, don't act like you did, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know what I mean? That's how I feel with some critics on not just YouTube, just like basically anything. It's kind of funny, like, first it's like, what, did someone give you a bad review? It's like, no, actually, I haven't actually had any, like, bad reviews or anything like that. Hell, I haven't even had reviews. But when it comes to, like, watching other reviews on stuff, sometimes I'm just all like, I don't think you know what the hell you're talking about, sir. You know, the fact that you know the ending is a pretty good sign. Because actually knowing the ending of your story is more than half the time the hardest part. Yes, like, trying to figure out the beginning of something is also hard, but not in the same vein as not knowing what your ending is. Because that could really bite you in the butt in the long run if you don't have at least a clear idea what your ending is. Endings keep you, story structure wise, remember that there's certain things you can't do. Because as long as you have an idea of what the ending is, you'll have an idea of what things stay and what things can't stay. They end high school, done. What do you mean by end high school? Like they finished high school, or did they just end high school? They just defeated high school. High school is no more. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have to be crazy detailed with it like I did that last page. It did that huge blast. That I kind of wish I didn't. Let me just try and get that a little bit longer. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright, now we just have to... was it page 16? No, it was page 15. No, it wasn't page 15 either. Page 14? Yeah. Yeah, I'll just have it faded. Nice. I mean, it sounds like you kind of have the beginning sort of figured out. You just don't know. Like, the best thing, like, the funny thing is, it sounds like you have a beginning, you just don't know how to make the beginning interesting. Because, like, it's obvious that they either start high school or they're their last year of high school. But how do you start it to... The worst part about making the beginning is that it's not that the beginning's hard, is how do you capture a person's attention? How do you capture their attention to focus on it? Which is hard. I technically don't know how to do it. it's always the beginning is always about capturing the attention of the reader. Because I remember not looking up. I remember. Oh, I just realized why I did what I did wrong. I was like, why does it look so weird? Because I didn't even get the right color. There we go. What was I saying? Because I remember listening to someone do like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a comparison on hooks. Like it's hooking people into a story is kind of an art form in and of itself. How do you capture a reader's attention to want to read something? So how, like, he kind of used a good example and a bad example. And he was using comic books. Like he pointed out the fact that the first page is the most important. Like other pages are fine because there's a lot of people that skim through a lot of pages, and the first issue is the most important issue because it's the first book they're most likely gonna buy if they were interested in the first place, unless they ended up getting other issues too. But that's a different kind of thing. But trying to get them to read. Actually, can I? Probably don't want it to look like that. Yeah, I'll just keep it. I'll keep it the normal. I forget what examples he used though. I'll have to look it up again. I remember it was pretty good advice. Like the first page or the second page, if necessary, are the most important pages to get somebody's attention. And unless you know what the main theme isn't the right word. The main hook. It's hard to write the first scene. Like some people do the whole story time. Some people do the "Hi, my name is so and so," introduction, like the character narration. Some people like to be a little creative and have like with me, I decided to do like a little what if we kind of started the story in the middle, or at least. Oh. She has a ghost boy. Oh, best friend. I thought that said boyfriend. God, I suck. It would depend on Greek tragedy. Okay. Yeah, it would depend on how quickly you want the audience to know that. Like, is that gonna be like a little surprise? This is what the story's actually about, or is it gonna be like immediate that the reader knows this? Because my hook doesn't happen until the very end. This whole first issue is just setup, and that sometimes doing that is kind of dangerous if the setup isn't interesting. That's why I decided to have the story kind of in the middle. Not only did it make it easier to set up the hook, but I could also put little tidbits of character development without, like, what does he mean when he says this, or what does he mean when he says that? I guess I have to keep reading to know what that is. Because there's actually a lot of, like, it's kind of funny. Okay, now, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I realized when some of the dialogue made me go, huh, you know, I think I might be misleading people with this line of dialogue, because in the sense of, like, some people are going to read this and think they're implying something when it's actually not what they're implying when they say it. Like, it's something completely different. But that's good. That's good. I want people to think one thing when it's actually another. I kind of like that, but I don't like these two over here. Huh. You know, like, I'm thinking it kind of, I mean, it kind of reminds me of, what's it called? I don't know why, but I thought of, what is that show called? It was something in the Book of Friends. Something in the Book of Friends. Where he's like, he could see, Japanese monsters. And it's very slice of life. No, not Owl House. I'm thinking of an anime. Something in the Book of Friends. Oh my god, that's gonna drive me nuts. Book of Friends. Natsume. Natsume. Not. Natsume. I think it's pronounced Natsume. Yeah, Natsume in the Book of Friends. Yes, yes. I mean, minus the boyfriend. I keep saying boyfriend. The best friend ghost. God dang it. I don't know why I keep saying boyfriend. Sorry. I've read a lot of supernatural sitcoms that it's always like not technically boyfriend, but they turn boyfriend. It's stupid. But yeah, that's probably a good way to start it, especially if you're gonna go, like, it depends, cause at least with Natsume, he's had this problem since he was, like, you know, born into existence, so it depends on, it wouldn't work unless the character is discovering that they're a witch, or they've always knew they've always been dealing with this. So you would have to figure out, like, are they okay? The first thing would be, are they just discovering they're a witch? If not, then you have to establish that they've always had to deal with this. Are they just discovering their best friend, the ghost? Like, is this the first time they met? If so, that's gonna be what the first story is gonna be about, is how they met. Yeah, so, like, you have to go down the list of things of things that have to be first, and then you have to decide which one should be first. Because that's basically what I did. I have a lot of firsts. Like, there's, like, you could obviously tell in this story that a lot of stuff has happened before all this. So you have to go down the list and see what would be a good, like, there's like a story narrative that exists, but ooh, God, doesn't mean that's the beginning of your story. At least the beginning to the audience. You have a story in your head. That's how everything plays out. But you have to decide, where does the story actually start? I mean, you could have it that, actually, it's probably better if I put this past the... Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And then I do transparency. There we go. That looks much better. Now I have to decide if I want to do... Oh, that's actually really good. But yeah, you have to know like the beginning and end of like wait, she was raised by I see. You have to be sure you know what that reason is. Because you have to know the reason. You have to know the reason why she didn't do it before and the reason why she's doing it now. Because it can't be just because. Like, she changed her mind, and you also can't do it because, I mean, you could technically do it because she changed her mind, but you also have to have a inner line reason why she wouldn't have done it in the first place. Okay, now we can do basic shading. Alright. Before this. Let me get rid of that. And go here. Oh, now I remember what I was going to do. Okay. And also, don't hesitate to like tell me like, well, I can't tell you that because that is just story secrets and stuff like that. Don't hesitate to be like, I don't want to tell you everything. I'm just trying to like, you know, kind of give you a basis on like things you should think about in the process of trying to figure out what your beginning is going to be. Okay, and then pop. Writing is hard. Oh, I fudged it. Let's go back. I really fudged it. Okay, there we go. Hello? Oh, here we go. But yeah, writing is definitely hard. Sometimes it makes it a little easier to write down like um like sometimes it's easier, like if you're just in the writing phase, like you're not in the process of actually like putting like posting things and stuff like that, like me, because I'm an idiot. Sometimes sometimes it's better to oh whoops. Sometimes it's better to start writing the middle, like kind of get a feel for like how things progress, and then if like you're like, okay, now I understand where to start, because I used to do this a lot when it came to writing. Was my the thing I ended up doing a lot. This is the thing I ended up doing a lot when I first tried to come up with a story. Yeah, accidental. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Um, the thing I end up doing a lot by accident when I do my writing is that the main character. Now, it's one of those things. This is just a me thing, so you might not run into this problem. But I've seen not only myself but other people run into this problem. Is that I accidentally didn't like my main character ends up not being the main character. Like I accidentally thought I made the main character when I actually didn't. I made a lot of times I just made the what's the word I'm looking for? I made like I don't want to say they're a plot device, but they kind of are. I kind of made the plot device character, or at least sometimes the second main character or something like that, you know? And because I'm so focused on what the main character's doing and what his purpose or her purpose is, I focus on their purpose in the story to the point where sometimes the plot is kind of forced on them a lot, but they're not the ones really enforcing the plot, if that makes any sense. The plot is constantly on them, but they're not the ones actually influencing a lot of what the plot is. Wait, maybe I should make that a little. There we go. And then, but I end up really liking the character, right? So what ends up happening is that I end up making like a side character that really cares about them to the point of like constantly like they just really care about this character so much because I really care about this character so much, so I kind of make an embodiment of a character that really cares about them and does and tries their best to either keep them safe or whatever the plot is doing to them to help them get through it. And I realize that the side character that I made is the one progressing the plot. And I go, damn it. I think I accidentally made the side character the main character and the main character the side character. God dang it. I did it again. And that happens a lot with my writing. That's why I do a lot of like I end up doing a lot of the writing first, or at least the ideas first, and then I go, oh wait, damn it, I think I've done it so many times that once I catch myself doing it, I was like, okay, I think I could start now, because I found the main character, because I know that the main character I think I did is actually not the main character. They're actually either the plot device, or maybe not even just the plot device. They just end up being more of a side character because they're not as active as I want them to be, to keep the plot moving forward. Whoever their friend is, or just someone that they know, ends up being more proactive. Like it's hard. Like it's one of those things where like I would love to make it that easy. Like it's one of those things where if I did it that way, it might end up having the opposite result, and I don't know if that would be like good or not. Like, would it make things more difficult? Because like it's very easy to make like this quote unquote main character, be the main character, quote unquote. And then finding out that their best friend is actually the main character. Because it's easy to write around that, especially if you haven't actually done the beginning part of it yet. There we go. Yeah, if you haven't done the beginning part yet, it's actually really easy to reverse it real quick. And then I usually end up finding the beginning of the story too, because I remember when I was writing Dream On, which one day I'll get back to actually doing that. Dream On is one of my stories that I've been trying to get off the ground for so long. Ever since I did the OC tournaments. And Winston is not a bad main character. He worked as a main character in the tournament, but the more I tried to get him into his actual story, I was just like, damn it, it's really hard to get him as the main character. Because that's why I ended up doing a lot of forcing the plot to get him involved. Because he's so doesn't want to deal with this. But he's so important. So I was like, and he ended up becoming more, and he wasn't really much of a fighter either, so I had to have people kind of keep him safe kind of thing. And I was like, ugh, that's it's not bad for a character, it's just not really good for a main character. Because it comes across as more as a damsel in distress in most situations, or at least for a good chunk of the first half of the story. So I'm like, damn it, what do I do? And then I realized that one of the characters has been trying to there were a couple of characters that were trying to keep him safe, and I was like, okay, one of these people has got to be the main character, because it can't be Winston. Not in this story. Like in the tournament, it was fine. But in this story, if I had a smaller cast of characters, I could probably get Winston to be a little more, put a little more agency on himself, in the sense of trying to. Well, actually, that's not the right word I'm looking for. It's not like he doesn't have agency. He's just, it's just hard for him to understand how to protect himself. That's kind of the point. So it's not like he's not trying. He just doesn't know how. There we go. Oh, whoops. There we go. But yeah, one day I'll get Dream On off the ground again. I wouldn't mind actually writing that story again. It's one of those stories that I had fun with. Have you ever seen my story of Dream On? I don't think you have. Well, because I've done the OC tournaments. It's one of the few times I ever got a story done. One of those big accomplishments. And it was also cool too, because that was the first tournament. It was not only my first tournament, it was also the first tournament I won in. Which that I was not expecting. I was not expecting to win my first tournament. Yes. I'd rather talk about, dude, you know how much writing talk I have with my sister? Oh my god. It's one of the big topics we talk about. If it's not the, it's almost the topic. Mostly because, we're in the process, after we're done watching stuff, we're like, so how's your thing going? And then we end up just talking about, our process, and, if we're stuck, or if we, Like we had to like she had to scrap a few scripts a couple of times, and we're like, damn. But she's doing better. Like stories wise, she's doing much better. But the last script she had to scrap was I think was more making YouTube video related. So I was like, oof. But then again, this is her first. Well, no, it's not her first time. It's been her first time in a long time making a YouTube video. I mean, she always said, like, I've never been good at this in the first place. I'm just like, yeah, but you're fine. I'm doing it right now. Yeah, if you need some more writing advice in general outside of the stream, that'll be fine. I mean, it's one of those things I'm trying to be better about being online. And it's gonna be a little bit easier for the summer. So if you need, you need writing advice. And like I said, I'm not the best writer either. So it's one of those things where I'm sitting here going like, why are you asking me? I like it like I don't know. It's just like I'm not exactly the best at this either. I just say what I know. Well, actually, I probably should do it more like this. There we go. Shakespeare? Oh God, no. He knows how grammar works. Like like I'm pretty good when it comes to general writing, but when it comes to actually like writing words down, my grammar's ass. And it's one of those things like don't shit on Shakespeare. But it's one of those things where actually the funny thing is like my sister and I were also talking about how like there are some things that we're surprised people are shocked by when it comes to like, wow, I've never seen this kind of writing style before. And I'm just like, well, not writing style, like this writing narrative before. And I'm sitting here going like, have you never, hello? Like, we're like, have you never read like Romeo and Juliet? Like, dude, read a book. Like we're not. That's the funny thing too. We were both dyslexic, and we know more about like these kind of story narratives than most people do. Like I forget what game she was talking about exactly, but she was talking about how there was just this one game where she was just kind of like, wow, really? When it came to some people talking about it, because it sounded like. Actually, the funny thing is, I still technically haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've been meaning to. It's one of those things, I've seen enough of it that I'm kind of spoiled. But I wouldn't mind like sitting down and actually like watching it at some point. I just need to find the time and if I wasn't watching so much other stuff. I would definitely love to watch it though. Yeah, it's like it's one of those things I've heard nerds talk about it. Like when there's things that I don't have time to watch for, but for some reason I'll watch people talk about it. You know, like I've never watched Dragon Ball Z, but I have this one YouTuber that likes to talk about it, so I'm just like, I like listening to nerds talk about their hobbies. You know, even if it's not really a franchise that I'm really interested in, I don't know why, but I like nerds. Maybe because I've just been like on the internet for so long, and I've seen like internet boards and stuff like that of people just talking about their hobbies and stuff like that, and making it little essays about certain topics, about franchises that I've never been a part of, and then I kind of squeeze in with whatever franchise I was like interested in, and then we just end up talking. But I don't know. I like watching YouTube videos of people doing their little video essays on franchises that I've never been a part of, but I like listening to people's critique on, not necessarily critique, like they're not always like critiques, they're more of like observations on like certain things. That's why I knew about like stupid things about Friday Night Funkin' when it came to one of the, I think it's the MILF song, where there's like a few notes that are based off of, yeah, video essays are nice. I mean, some, like it's one, it was funny because sometimes my sister and I was like, sometimes you just go and look at yourself and go, man, anybody could be a YouTuber, because like there's some video essays that make me go, wow, that's bad. But there's actually a good portion of like actual good ones. I'm just like, lately I've been running into like really bad ones, and I'm like, why is this keep happening? Why are they so bad? Actually, maybe I should. Oh, whoops. Why is this happening? Okay, no, that was the right thing to do. There we go, that's better. It's hard to do line art for hair this dark. But yeah, what was I going on about? I was going on about, I listen to a lot of video essays. That's why I end up, like, I know at least basic information. Like, I try not to act like I know everything about something sometimes, because, like, because I was like, oh wait, I only know about this because of the video essay. I actually haven't watched it. And especially when it's, sometimes I have to take certain things with a grain of salt, because some people are very misleading, with some things. So, like, even if it's a show that I'm not, I personally don't think I would actually like, when someone's bashing on it, I have to remember to take it with a grain of salt, because unless I'm actually watching it, doesn't necessarily mean that this person's telling me the truth of how bad it is, because people mislead, sometimes not on purpose. Like, you can't always assume it's malice, but there's some malice when it comes to critiquing something that you don't like. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they go in a little bit of a, like, okay, this scene isn't actually that bad, but I'll make people think that it's worse than it actually is to make the video sound more interesting. And that's a shitty thing to do, but people do it. And like I said, it's not always out of malice. Sometimes they genuinely just did not understand the scene and thought it meant something else when it really wasn't. Genshin Impact. Shoot, I should know what that is. I feel bad that I don't know what that is. Genshin Impact. Hold up. I'm gonna look it up on my phone. Genshin Impact. Ah. Oh, okay. Fudge, I feel dumb. I know what Genshin Impact. I'm pretty sure my sister plays that. Or at least she knows people that play it. I don't know if she plays it herself. No, I'm pretty sure she plays it. Oh, darn it. Probably should do... There we go. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what other things to talk about. Wait, do I want to? No, that's fine. I probably Spyro. Yeah, that's. It's one of those things where I would play it more if I had time for it. Like, Minecraft is easy to just pull up and play for maybe an hour. I have to. So I have to go downstairs and make sure everything is plugged in and put the settings in, and then I can play it on the Switch. But then I have my PC and I just like whip it up real quick and maybe play an hour of Minecraft. I'm like, good, we're good. Everybody, we could chill. Oh my god, it's already almost 11? God. Help me. Help me, Jesus. Help me, help. I'm trying to remember the... Help me, Jeebus. That's what it was. Help me, Jeebus. I only got his line. Can you even play it on the PC? I'm pretty sure that's like 100% console. But then again, I don't know. Oh, whoops. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't really been looking at the health of this stream. Okay, everything's working properly. Okay, so we're at the last hour. Quick decision. Should I keep drawing, or do you want to painfully watch me play Minecraft for the last hour? Because I'm just going to be doing more of this later in the day anyway, because, yeah, I'm going to have to, I have to finish this tonight. Flip a coin? Do I even have a coin? Hold up. I think I have change. Boop, boop, boop. Oh wait, the coins are all the way over there. I have so many quarters. Ah! Okay. Heads is Minecraft. Alrighty. Oh, I suck. Tails. Looks like we're drawing the rest of the day. That's fine. Extra time to do this is probably better. Alright. Oh, wait. Let me double check on the lighting. Because sometimes, like, the worst thing you could do is not know where the light is from one page to the next. shadows are coming from. So like the lights from that side. Oh, whoops. Oh, yeah. And don't worry, we're gonna have a full play stream on Friday. In fact, we're gonna have line arts, yes. Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't like that at all. Let me make sure I cut that off. There we go. Wait. Did that work? No! What the hell? Oh, I made that worse. Go back. Go back. Okay. What I meant to do... Oops. What I meant to do was... There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Oops. But yeah. We'll do a lot more gameplay. In fact, oh yeah! I forgot that I was gonna ask this today. With the Minecraft, should I make, like, videos? Because, like, sometimes I'll have it, like, just a regular play stream, and then, of course, like yesterday, if I have extra time, I'll do it after drawing. Well, sometimes I forget my name is Bo online. My online name is not famous enough to remember it on a daily basis. Oh, I suck. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was thinking of maybe after a few streams, heck, I could probably make a video off of the last stream and just edit it down. Exactly. Exactly. I know it's always hard to say my sister's name online because she almost never goes by it, so it's just all like, Cool Firebird. Like, not exactly a name that rolls off the tongue. Sometimes, like, I should ask her if she wants to be called Chikadova online. I think she would think that would be funny. Cool Firebird. Username. Yeah, you'll have to ask her, but I think it had something to do with the fact that she just, like, you know, she had a few she had a few names that she wanted. Like she wanted, I think she wanted Firebird, but, you know, Ice Phoenix, huh? It was just one of those, like, can't get the name that I want, so I'll have, like, a variation of it. That's the funny thing about cool internet names. It depends on what you like. Cool. Cool is the most subjective word. Like, technically, anything can be cool, and yet very few things can be cool. In fact, I think it's probably more suggestive than, like, comedy. That's the funny thing about comedy. I think comedy is one of those things where it's hard to be a nobody and do jokes because you have to buy into the idea that people have to take your word for it that you're not serious, because you have to use what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be outrageous. That's a nice way of putting it. You have to be outrageous without people thinking that you're serious. And sometimes you are to an extent. A lot of comedy is like a bunch of half-truths. Yeah, there's just some. To be fair, it's one of those things where, like, I think Twitter has this problem too. It's not like it's one of those things where, trying to be funny online, especially in a text format, is really hard. It's really hard to be funny, especially the strangers. Like, it'd be one thing when you're talking to your friend and stuff like that. Like, have complete strangers see you being, like, you know, like, trying to be jokey, and, people not knowing what, like, you know, it's like, if you don't know that person, you don't know if that person normally jokes about this kind of thing, or is joking right now. And that's why Twitter is a trash fire. This is my TED Talk of why Twitter is a trash fire. Definitely can't be a comedian on Twitter. And I understand that there's just some people that just have a hard time figuring out if someone's joking on Discord and stuff like that. Maybe we should. Oof. How strict is that Discord? What do you... It's one of those things, like, it's one of those discourse that made me go, what do you guys talk about? It'd be one thing if you were actively doing it, but just saying that you're gonna do it, like everybody says stuff that they're not actually going to do. That's like half the conversation. Kind of reminds me of when I was little. There would be some days where we just sit down, like I'd be sitting with somebody, and it's like, what do you want to do today? And they'd be like, I don't know, what do you want to do today? And that's like the whole day of just us sitting there. It's like, I don't know, what are you going to do today? Well, we could do this. Yeah, but but we'd be doing something. Like, it just, those were the worst days. Those were the worst days. Actually, now that I think about it, whoop. Yeah, I don't really have any lighting. I mean, the lighting is the police lights, so that's probably why I didn't do any extra lighting on here. Oops. Oh, whoops. Oh yeah. Oh wait. Okay, we're good. Pretty chill stream today. Just hanging out. Heck, it's starting to feel like one of those days. It's like, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? Well, I gotta finish this thing. But what do you want to do? Oh. Time to make it not chill. Oh wait, actually. Ooh, pretty explosions! Explosions! Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Oh, darn it. Okay, this one's gonna be a little tricky. I gotta be right there. And then... Oh, whoop. Ah. There we go. Wait, which comic? My comic or a different comic? Which is fine. Not much has happened. Oh, okay. That's fine. I haven't been really keeping up with Nefarious, but so far I'm actually not as far behind as I thought I was. Actually, I kind of prefer you to take your time because, like I said, I haven't been really good. Like, I've been better on posting and updating, but like I said, I ran out of buffer, so it might be a while before I start really pumping out pages again. And like I said, I'm definitely gonna be promoting it like super crazy stupid once the first issue is done. Which we're almost there. We're on page 18, and we have about oh no. Oh no, the pressure! Ah! Okay. Oh, whoops. Oh, did the music stop? Well, time to fix that. There we go. Oh, I need to get more music on this playlist. Should I get Deltarune music or should I get Undertale music? Can I do that though? I feel like that's like I don't know why. I was just like, that feels like cheating. Is that allowed? I mean, I know there's like a creative page. It's one of those things I'm like, ooh, is that okay? BOT music. What's BOT music? Hold up, I'm gonna look it up. What is BOT? BOT. Oh, BOTW. Whoops. BOTW. OST. Oh, Breath of the Wild. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh yeah, I'll definitely ask. Probably post it on the, like, something on the creative page. You know what I'll do? Because I know, like, I need to make a promotional picture and put it on the creative page. And then if people ask about it, I'll let them know that the comic is a thing. Oops. That way, like, it's not, like, super skeevy or anything like that, you know? I'm really sensitive about, like, self-promotion. Like, you gotta be careful and sensitive about that kind of thing. But then again, it's one of those things like, yeah, I think I earned a little self-promotion with all the fan animatics and stuff like that, so I don't think it would hurt. Just a little bit. Actually, I could probably just... I've been thinking about doing that. I just, like, there's one song that I want to use. I just need to plan it out. Because, like, I don't know how to plan it out exactly the way I want it to look. definitely have to do that at some point. Oh, whoops. Man, this stream just kind of flew by, didn't it? Holy crap. Maybe that shouldn't be the first one. I gotta put some actual hype in, man. I can see that as like a goofy one to do, but probably the first one should have a little more hype behind it. Trying to figure out if I like that. Brr. Oh, darn it. I'm trying to make it look more goldy, shiny. I don't know if I like that. Kind of like that. Side. And then stabby stab. But yeah, I'll definitely look at Breath of the Wild and see if I could find some songs from there. Spoilers. Wait, did I miss something? Oh, right. Right, stabby stab. Spoilers. It's fine. It's just a little bit of stabbing. Right in the back, too. It's almost like he's an asshole. I'm actually okay with that. A little cameo wouldn't hurt. Oh. Funny joke. There we go. Yeah, this is fine. Stabbing trigger warning. Just curious, how do you feel about trigger warnings and stuff? Because I have mixed feelings about it. Because it feels like it's weird to me. I don't technically like it. Especially that I hate the trigger warnings that just basically spoil the story. You know what I mean? Like, I never understood, like, the whole, like, mine, I never understood the whole, manipulation trigger warning. I'm sitting here going, like, wait, someone manipulates someone? Damn it! Like, I was like, stop telling me what happens! Like, I want to watch this! I just feel like, yeah, it's good but spoilery. Exactly, I agree. It's very spoilery, and it gets kind of frustrating sometimes. Like, there's some stories where I kind of get why the warning's there. Like, I sort of get the warning in Doki Doki Literature Club, because it's the kind of story that's supposed to be like, surprise, it's not like a slice of life thing. Like, if the story is trying to manipulate you into thinking that this is a heartwarming story, that could be not a good time. But if, say, you're watching like something that's obviously a horror story or something that's supposed to be creepy, and then they give you trigger warnings, I'm like, dude, I wouldn't be watching a horror story if I didn't know there was going to be horror in it. Like, what? Why would I be watching this? It also reminds me of the fact that I'm like, aren't there don't we have a rating system? Like, isn't that the point of having a rating system in literally anything? In fact, I think the rating system in most things is less spoilery in comparison. Like in video games. Oh, I have to check that out. But yeah, like the rating system in most things have got it right. You know, they say like, you know, sexual themes, alcohol, like sometimes they switch from like detailed violence or cartoon violence. Like you could tell what kind of violence you're getting yourself into. You know what I mean? Without like straight up spoiling you on what exactly that violence entails. And that's why I think most trigger warnings are kind of like, they're kind of hurtful to the art form in lately most cases, at least in my opinion. I think lately it's been kind of hurting the art form a little bit. Which is kind of funny because like I remember like fan fiction having a lot of like very specific you know, not necessarily warnings, but just like what's in it. And I guess I have a different feeling when it comes to fan fiction, when it comes to this kind of thing, because a part of me is all like, well, that's kind of spoiler, but at the same time, with fan fiction, it's such a minefield that because it's not like in other things where there's like a level of quality control. Fan fiction is literally anything, which is the best and worst thing when it comes to making art. Sometimes restrictions are necessary, but then sometimes restrictions are restrictions. So you're just kind of like, it's just it's a mess. Oh, hi friend. Which I understand that. Like, I remember my sister. Oh, what was that game? What was that game? Shoot. There was a game. Fudge. What was it called? It was about like a It was supposed to be like really old internet communication. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. It was about a really old internet connection with like it was like, you know, talking to people on, like talking to a friend online. But it was like really old internet, like 90s internet, you know? And and it was such a like manipulative mess, and there was no trigger warning, okay? And my sister played it, and she went through very, very similar experience. In fact, at one point she was like, I don't know, I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I was like, and we like as we were talking about it, she's like, oh God, I think it just got too real. And I was like, yeah, that could have been it. I think it just got too real. Because it was a little too familiar. And she was like, yeah. And then she just stopped watching it. And it's one of those things where but I guess it's one of those things where like I don't want to be like an asshole and say like just get over it, but at the same time, that's the danger of art. I guess the best way to put it is you can't experience certain emotions knowing ahead of time of what's coming up. There's some people that do, like. And to be fair, I guess it's just my sister in the sense like she would have not liked having the warning firsthand, even with the mindset that she has about this kind of thing. She'd be like, yeah, I probably still, I probably wouldn't like the trigger warning, and it probably wouldn't help either. It probably still wouldn't help either in the sense of like her just having that moment of like, oh, this is uncomfortable as hell. I hate this. And like I'm actually getting kind of upset, you know. And I was like, yeah, I think it's because you've experienced this before. Just like, yeah, I think it just got too real.
I'd say break a leg, but I might end up breaking yours.
But she definitely hates trigger warnings. That's the interesting part about that. Like, it makes me wonder how she would feel if that did have a trigger warning of manipulation. And I think she still wouldn't agree to put it in there, despite how uncomfortable she felt experiencing it. True, I think it'd be better if you were kind of given the option to see the trigger warning. Like if you're that kind of cautious person, instead of the game automatically throwing it in your face. So like, oh, by the way, this stuff happens. And you're like, ah, damn it, why'd you tell me? If there was more of a, like, here are the trigger warnings. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't look at them, but be warned that there is sensitive... Like, the best thing you could say, there are sensitive topics. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Like, if you are easily sensitive, you know, look at the trigger warnings real quick. If there's anything that makes you concerned, then don't continue. But if none of these things are things that you're worried about, then you're fine. So I guess, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I get them, but I feel like we're doing them wrong. You know what I mean? I think there's a better way to do this. And that ain't it, Chief. God, that's an awful joke. But yeah, I feel like there's a better way to do it. I just don't think how... I feel like we're kind of feeling our way through the idea of trigger warnings. And I don't think we've actually mastered the trigger warning concept. Because I feel like this is just the next level of, like I said, the whole, the next level of, what's the word I'm looking for? The next level of rating system. It's a rating system that has a little too much detail. And some people need it. I get that some people need it. And, but I think it applies to less people than people think. Because there are some people that have experienced these things, but can handle it very well and get a little frustrated. Like, it's one of those things where there are some people that feel they don't like being coddled. Like, my sister's like that. She's experienced some things in life that make her very upset, and sometimes she experiences it again in certain stories. But she also doesn't want to be coddled into being protected from certain issues because she's an adult, you know. So I don't know. It's one of those things where like I said, she doesn't like trigger warnings. I get why other people think it's necessary. I think I'm going around in circles, kind of repeating myself at this point, but yeah. Man, that was a topic that I didn't realize that I had in my head. But then again, this is the kind of thing my sister and I would talk about. It was like, because I don't necessarily play devil's advocate when she disagrees on something, but we do kind of talk about, like, I mean, there's a lot of things I actually agree on her more than I think I do. I don't know. It's one of those things where, where was I going with this? I guess how to close this off is the idea of I think this can work. I just don't think it's where it should be. Wow, that was a horrible way to describe what I was trying to say. You know what? The best way to do it would be, I hate to say it, I have to say this, but it could do better. The concept of trigger warnings can do better. Because there are some people that feel, the people I've listened to that don't like trigger warnings, even though they've had these experiences that they try to warn people about, their concern is that, you know, spoilers, because there's some people that just absolutely hate spoilers, and like the actual product itself is spoiling them, is kind of frustrating. And they also, and the other reason is some of them don't like the idea of being coddled when it comes to certain topics. And they don't want to feel like they have to constantly be protected from these issues because it also they feel like it's a form of ignoring them. Like, you can't pretend that they don't exist and avoid them your entire life, even if it's not directly happening to you anymore, or if it's still happening to you. But yeah, that's just what I've been hearing when it comes to people not agreeing with trigger warnings. And not always necessarily that they don't agree with it, they just think there's, it's not as effective as people want it to be. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't want to completely get rid of it, because there's some people that feel like it's necessary. And once again, I'm going around in circles on the topic. There we go. Wait, what time is it? But yeah, I do like your idea, Emily, on the idea of, like, having a separate thing. Yeah. I think if more games had, like, you know, you have your basic rating system, and then, like, have, like, somewhere in the settings, it's one of those things, like, it doesn't have to be too far in the back, it doesn't actually have to be in the settings, but, like, somewhere where you could click on, like, hey, this is the trigger warning button. If you're a very cautious person about this kind of thing, please click this to see if there's something that might upset you. Warning, some of these might be spoilers because we have to explain. But that actually is a really good idea. I'll subscribe to that concept. Because that's kind of how it is with, like, fan fiction, technically. There's like a little thing on the side that tells you, like, the particular things in it. Like, is this a shipping thing? Does it have violence? You know, and some of these fanfics actually do have the trigger warnings. I kind of, once again, I kind of feel like I kind of wish they were kind of, like, not necessarily hidden, but kind of have, like, a filter going, like, hey, if you click this, we're gonna spoil you on the trigger. But yeah. But yeah, I feel like I don't necessarily want it to be hidden, but I also kind of don't want it to absolutely go in your face and tell you what happens. Actually, the funny thing is, like, my sister and I actually like, I guess, like, the manipulation trigger warning is probably the biggest part that makes me and my sister go, ugh. Like, in the sense of, like, I can't believe you just told me that. Damn it. Was the, because we actually do, like, even though we've experienced these kind of things before, we actually do like spotting it in stories. We do like spotting that kind of thing in stories. Mostly because we like mystery stuff, and sometimes it's because, we just like the concept of like people just being absolute dicks. Uh, but oh, what was I going at? Because sometimes the manipulation is so good in the writing that like you don't notice it until a certain point where it just basically has no choice but to like address it. And you're like, oh shit, and your mind is just like, it's like I didn't even see that coming. What? And there's just some people that could like separate that there's some people that can't. I understand that. But there's a lot of people that could easily separate it from a story from like actually happening in real life kind of situation. Yeah, that's you know what? I kind of like that. I think the reason why trigger warnings are becoming more prevalent and stuff, especially when it comes to um, like trying to put it in your face kind of warning instead of like keeping it kind of hidden. Well, at least filtered. Hidden is not the word I should use. Filtered. You know, you click on it in order to find out. The point is, I think the reason why that happens a lot in things, because in Doki Doki Literature Club, I guess maybe you could agree that they should have technically had a trigger warning in the first place. But like I said, if they should have, I think it should have been more of a filter setting. But when it came to, but they didn't put that warning in there until like the news media started picking up people like doing like stuff after, you know, hurting themselves after the game, and that's when games and stuff like that end up starting putting the warnings up. You know what I mean? To prevent people from like suing them from like big things like that. And I don't know who to blame for that. Like, it's one of those things where it's just so like, I get that the news has to report on this stuff, but at the same time, sometimes they handle it so poorly that they make it sound like it's the game's fault. And I'm like, no, like, it's not. Like, most people, like, it's, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm just like maybe, like, if someone's has that kind of issue, maybe they shouldn't. It's one of those things. Like at the same time, to be fair, the point of the game is supposed to trick you into thinking it's a slice of life kind of thing. But if someone has that much trouble, like, they kind of need somebody to kind of filter out their media then. If they're having that much, if they're gonna have that much trouble, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know exactly the answer to this question, but I feel like no one's in the right in anything. It's like, I feel like there's an answer to this, I just don't know what it is yet. And people are too quick to assume what the answer is. There. Oh, wait. Do I want that? Yeah, I want it that way. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. You know, this is probably the best shading I've done in a long time. True. Exactly. I agree. It's a generational gap issue, and that's probably why like I have a hard time. It's kind of stupid, but like I have a hard time connecting with a lot of older folks because it feels like I have to translate to them a lot when it comes to like what what the kids are into. I hate to sound like a like hello fellow kids, but there's just some things where like I'm not always on top of everything, but I at least understand. You know what I mean? And I don't think like I don't particularly blame older people. It's just that they're just not interested in it. You know, they're just kind of like they just like their own thing. You know, and they really shouldn't be forced to. They shouldn't be forced to like it, but you probably should pay attention just a little bit. And I'm not gonna like go down your throat on like, you know, if you don't understand something. But there is a generational gap issue that needs to be fixed. And things like old media is not helping. Because they don't know how to connect to the younger people, and they want to hold on to whatever, you know, they want to hold on to the older generation to you know, because they just don't know how. They just don't know how to connect to the younger people. How to keep them interested in what they're doing. So they just, you know, the funny thing about the media, I think they just gave up on trying to get younger people's attention and just focuses on older people's what's the word I'm looking for? Older people's continuous mindset. And once again, I personally don't blame older people for that. I blame the media for that, because that is one of the few times where I'll say it. I'll blame the media for that. They know what they're doing. They know they can't connect with the younger audience anymore, and they're not even going to try. Well, let's not be sadistic about it, but there's a sad truth to that, though. I remember my mom like used to watch like a lot of older media, and now she's like totally done with it. Which I was like, yeah, I don't blame you. These guys have been holding, like, it's just so stupid. It's like she's done with a lot of older news media that she's realized that's been kind of like pulling her along for a while now. And of course, it's one of those things you can't completely give up on it because it is the news, you know? You gotta know, because they have, like, not everything they say is a lie, it's just misleading. And they're very good at that, because that's the only game they know how to play right now. As you can tell, I am not a fan of the news in any form. I don't care what your political leanings are. All of it sucks. That's where I am. Because they're all playing a really dumb game. Then I'm not playing anymore. There we go. There we go. Well, Nintendo Direct is just Nintendo Direct. They just talk about video games. There's nothing political about it. If anything, that is the most apolitical thing. Hell, I don't want, like, a part of me is like, I don't even know if that could be considered a political thing. It's just fun video game stuff. And if a lot more entertainment was more apolitical, the world would be a better place. And like I said, the news can be news, but yeah, video game news. And like I said, I think the biggest problem. I think the biggest problem in America. I think the biggest problem in America is that we need entertainment to be more entertainment and less political. I know it's hard with everything right now, but you know, we kind of need it. There's a reason why escapism exists. Because people need time away from the political in order to pay attention to it. It's like being in a marriage. Like, you can't possibly be with someone for that. Like, you can't be with them 24/7. You need certain times of the day where you kind of do your own thing. If you're constantly in front of the what's happening in the news all day, every day, it's kind of controlling, and you need to stop. I guess just my advice is just like, don't get caught up in news all the time, because a lot of the time it's just the same damn thing. Like, I usually catch up on the news weekly, not daily. Just keep that in mind. Just keep an eye on the news weekly and not daily, and you realize how much of it was just on repeat. The entire week was on repeat. There was like maybe 3 things that actually happened that week. Well, we can't possibly live in a world completely without news. Because how the hell will we know what's going on? But the amount of news we're getting is, I would say, unhealthy. I would say the amount of it is unhealthy. Because we didn't used to get that much news. And even when we kind of did, like, they kind of admitted that it was just like, yeah, we're just kind of repeating the same thing over and over again in case you missed it. Yep. I guess the best way to do it, we need less news and more information. Like, that's probably the best way I could describe it, is we need less news, more information. Oh no, that's not good. There we go. The wise 30-year-old, oh god. I think that's what's happening. I think I finally did it. I think I'm actually acting my age. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe I'm just kind of like, it kind of helps just not caring. Sometimes caring is not caring is healthy. It's more of like, you know, I think I'm finally past my 20-year-old, I care too much about what other people think, so I'll stay quiet about it. I mean, it's one of those things where there's still some things that I won't, like, it's kind of funny, it's kind of different between me talking with my sister, because we'll just be like, wow, like, we'll just, no filter, say how we think, and then kind of reel it back a little bit. It's like, actually, you know what, like, you know, like, sometimes we go, like, completely off, when it comes to stuff, and then we're like, wait, let's reel that back a bit. Like, it's like, we're just like, wait, we're just, like, that was just us airing out our grievances. Let's actually discuss, like, what would be a better solution to this problem, you know? But that's just, you know, basic conversations, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes the best way to talk about a problem that you have is to be a dick and air about it with your friend, and no filter, just be like, this sucks, I hate this is stupid, I can't believe anybody likes this shit. Or think this is good or anything like that, and then we were like, wait a minute. There actually is genuine people that like this shit. Well, let's actually discuss why, and if that's good or not. Like, if that's actually good or not, and not just us bitching. I need to be unhinged sometimes. Okay, I thought that said unhugged. I'm like, are you okay? Is someone constantly hugging you right now? In a continuous hug. Exactly. Especially if things frustrate you. There's like, you know, when you get frustrated at something, that's why I try my best, like, sometimes when people go on Twitter and say some really, really stupid shit. I don't think it's the best way to do it, but I know that's just somebody unhinging themselves. Aw, I'm virtually hugging. But yeah, it's just someone venting out their frustration. Sometimes that frustration is like, it's one of those things that, like, it's because I don't know the person, it feels like, whoa, maybe you should reel that back a bit. But yeah, you always have to keep that in mind. I mean, there's just some people that are just actual assholes. Like, I'll be real, there are people that are actually vile, human beings. But sometimes you have to take a step back and go, I think this person is venting in the stupidest way possible. Like, I get that you need to vent, but you need to talk to a friend in private and vent like crazy. Yeah, nice little conversation. In fact, I need to... Maybe on my days off, I should definitely go in the Discord and just hang out in the voice chat. And just have, like, 'cause with me, since I'm super dyslexic, text chatting is not a thing that I really like to do. It's more of a necessary thing. To talk to people online, but if we get into just like a conversation vocally, we could go off. We could be talking a lot, and I think I should do that. It's summer. I have less commitments outside of my projects, so I'm gonna enjoy the summer as much as I physically can. And that is definitely keeping up with people. That is the main goal for this summer. Oh, that's okay. Yo, I recently... Oh my god. I wonder if I should show you this link of this woman that was showing how to make your... I mean, technically this wouldn't work for you because it's literally the other way around. But, there was this woman that was showing how you can make your... Like, she was showing how you can make your feminine voice sound masculine. And how she did it was, I was just like, whoa. I was like, what the hell? I was like, that was the first time I've ever seen something like that. So I was just like, whoa. And how she was explaining how she was doing it. I was like, what the hell? And like I said, probably wouldn't work for you because it's literally the other way around, but it is still a fascinating video. I was just like, holy shit, that's so cool. In fact, I was trying to follow her advice just so I could pull it off. But it's one of those things where, like, what she said made sense, but, like, I could not process it physically. I was just like, how do you do that? How do you do that? yeah, if you still not ready for that, that's perfectly fine. Um, but like, oh wait, sorry, I got distracted because music stopped. Um, that's perfectly fine. I'll try to, if you want to still stay in the chat, I'll, in, like, as I'm in there, in case there's other people, I'll keep, I won't completely abandon you if that's you're worried about. At least I'll try not to. I won't. I'll be good. It's one of those things where I think it's a new process that's still like, because like it kind of reminds me of like artists. Like there's a lot of people that are really good artists, but are very few good art teachers. Because like there's some tutorials online that make me go, I hate to be that dick, but go delete this. But like there's like you need to redo this. This is a horrible tutorial. You skipped so many steps. I mean, for some people it works because they're kind of looking at the tutorial because they're looking for one particular thing they don't understand. But if this is a tutorial teaching you all the steps, you skipped so many. Like, there's just some tutorials that make me feel like that. They're just like, you skipped so many steps. You have to talk to me like I'm 5. Like, I don't know the first thing we're supposed to do. This is... okay, that's understandable. That's fine. I understand that there's some places that are harder to be out than others. Because I'm a spoiled American, and there's a lot more places open here than in other places, so once again, I understand. Oh, I did fudge up here. Hold up. Maybe I should... yeah, that's a lot better. Let's see... I feel like there should be more lighting here, but I don't know. Maybe like around... like, I feel like... yeah, I think I know why he looks weird now, because he should be a lot brighter. Okay. I'll be aware of that. If I do end up going on voice chat more. I'll keep the second chat open. Now I'm still thinking of the wise 30-year-old comment, because I'm just like, oh no, that's the first time I've ever, like, hey, you act like your age kind of moment. I'm like, oh, this is weird. I don't know how I feel about this. Because I've always complained about, like, it's like, man, I hope one day I could act like my age. It's like, oh wait, I actually did, I had that moment. I had the moment. Now I'm overreacting over it. Now I'm being immature again. Like, damn it. You old. There, now I feel better that I was that was made fun of, that I'm old. I think. again, I think this is probably one of the best shadings I've done in a while. Mostly probably because the problem is I get really impatient when it comes to lighting and shading. I get super impatient. Oh no! Hold up. Being mature and oh damn it. Oh wait, no, that's fine. Being mature and being immature. Yeah. Well, I personally think completely killing your childhood is not, it's not healthy. Like, being an adult is not fun. Why would you constantly indulge in it 24/7? Yeah. There's a time and place for everything. Alright. I think it is time. I was almost done, actually. Or at least done with the shading part. And then the other thing is actually not that hard. It's just more of figuring out to do with the red and blue police lights, like the positioning of that. But depending on how I do it, it might not be that hard. I just have to figure out over here, like these two spots right here. I think he's fine. These two spots right here need to be done. Other than that, I think we're gonna have to call that a stream. Thank you for joining me on my TED Talk. But yeah, let me just move this here. And if I don't get bombarded by stuff, bye, Emily. If I don't get bombarded by stuff, I'll probably be finished with this by today, and then I could probably do an early gaming stream tomorrow, and then do all the, because like I said, the only thing I don't want to stream is the word balloon / dialogue, because sometimes that could be a nightmare. Sometimes that could be an editing nightmare, depending on what the new the new Photoshop update is. Because sometimes it goes a lot smoother, and then sometimes it's constantly crashing. And I'm like, help me. It hasn't done that recently, but some updates, man. Oof. That, and of course, the obvious reason would be, I don't want to show you the dialogue yet. You want to see that when the page is actually done and up. So if tomorrow ends up being putting in dialogue day, then I'll just have the stream just be a little gaming stream, and then we'll have 2 gaming streams instead of just the one on Friday. And that's basically it. So, alright. Hope you guys have a good day. I feel like there's one more thing I wanted to say. Probably isn't. Then I'm going to turn off the stream. Yes, it is going to be Minecraft, because that's the only game that is chill enough for me to talk. What will the stream be called? What will the stream be called? I'm either gonna use the millennial one, like, you know what? I'll probably have it that millennial plays Minecraft, or tries to play Minecraft, which is not as funny as Boomer, but it's more honest, and kind of weird, because like most millennials play Minecraft. What makes you so special? Oh, I'm not special. I just suck. Okay, so yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.